Hey folks, Rich Van Tassel back with you, finishing off our game picks from the earlier games. All the earlier games. This is the 4 o'clock time slot of Week 15 of the NFL season. The Saints with a 48-41 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. So the over coming in on this one, Saints moved to 6-8. And the Cardinals dropped to 5-8-1, been a disappointing year for the Cardinals. Drew Brees 37-48, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Mark Ingram 17 carries, 78 yards, 4.6. Tim Hightower 11 of 37, 3.4 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. DeForest Cadet 1 for 16. The team altogether 32 of 130, 4.1 yards per rush. Brandon Cooks had himself a day, 7 receptions, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. Willie Snead 8 for 76. Michael Thomas 7 for 52, a touchdown. Tavares Cadet 5 for 30 and a touchdown. Craig Robertson and Ken Crawley recovered fumbles. Drew Brees lost a fumble. They had 1 sack. It was Cameron Jordan. Will Lutz 2 for 2 in his field goals. The Cardinals. Carson Palmer 28 of 40, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kerwin Williams 3 carries, 63 yards, 21-yard average, 1 touchdown. David Johnson 12 for 53, 4.4 yards per rush, and 2 touchdowns. 15 for 116 altogether, 7.7 yards for rush for the Cardinals, but obviously a lot of passing by them. So you saw the Saints put up a ton of points with a lot of rushing. Cardinals put up a lot of points and didn't run the ball that much. John Brown, top receiver, 5 for 81, 1 touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, 7 for 57. David Johnson, 4 for 55. Jermaine Gresham, 3 for 42. Calais Campbell recovered a fumble. Larry Fitzgerald lost a fumble. Britton Golden also lost a fumble. Calais Campbell had 2 sacks. Marcus Golden had the other one. No interceptions. Chandler Cantazzaro missed his only field goal. So the Saints, their offense has been good. Their defense obviously has not. Neither has Arizona. Arizona's defense was not good today, but Arizona's defense has played much better. It's just been a disappointing year. They have not been able to find consistency on either end of the field, and that's why they are a team that was with Super Bowl aspirations is now 5-8-1. The 49ers got throttled by the Falcons, as I suspected, 41-13. 49ers have now lost 13 straight to drop to 1-13. Atlanta, that is 9-5, keeping pace atop the NFC South. We'll see what happens with Tampa Bay later on. Colin Kaepernick, 20 of 33, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kaepernick has really not played that bad this year. Carlos Hyde, 13 carries, 71 yards, 5.5 yards per rush. Colin Kaepernick, 3 for 21, 7 yards per rush. The team, 20 carries, 107 yards, 5.3 yards per rush. Again, as we discussed many times with the 49ers, they can't seem to run the ball as much as they pass or pass as much as they run. Either way you look at it, and they were running the ball effectively, but they were getting hammered in this game, so you look and you really can't run the ball that much. Blake Bell, top receiver, 1 for 45. Aaron Burbridge, 2 for 29. Jeremy Curley, 5 for 28. Grant Selleck had 2 receptions for 22 yards and the only touchdown. Michael Wilhoit recovered a fumble. Carlos Hyde lost a fumble. The team had 1 sack. It was Eli Harold. No interceptions. Phil Dawson did not kick any field goals. He missed an extra point, however. Matt Ryan, 17 of 23, 286 yards. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Matt Schaub threw a pass in this game. He completed it for 16 yards. Devontae Freeman, top rusher, 20 for 139, 6.9 yards per rush. Tevin Coleman, 14 of 58. Terron Ward, 6 of 52. 41 carries, 248 yards, 6 yards per rush, and the 3 touchdowns by Devontae Freeman. Now, obviously, when you have that big of a lead, you're going to run the ball a lot more. 6 yards per carry is still very impressive. Aldrick Robinson, top receiver, 4 for 111. Taylor Gabriel, 3 for 60. He had a touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, 3 for 44. I don't believe that Julio Jones played. Ryan Schrader, Keanu Neal both recovered fumbles. Devontae Freeman lost the fumble. Tevin Coleman fumbled. It was not lost. They had 2 sacks. Vic Beasley Jr. had one of them. Rashad Hagman had the other. So Vic Beasley Jr. continues to impress this season. You may get my vote for Defensive Player of the Year. Matt Bryant, 2 for 2 in his field goals. So, for the 49ers, we know what it is. They're just a bad team, cannot find any consistency. For the Atlanta Falcons, if their running game can certainly play, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to have games like this, clearly, because you're not going to be pounding a team that often. But if they have found something with the running game, they can be very much very much dangerous and much more balanced on offense moving forward because we know how well that passing game can get going. And even without Julio Jones, they still played very well. The Patriots clinch a first-round bye with a 16-3 victory over the Denver Broncos. Tom Brady, or Patriots now 12-2, 7-0 on the road, very impressive. Denver 8-6, 4-3 at home. Tom Brady 16 of 32, 188 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Deion Lewis 18 carries, 95 yards. 5.3 yards per rush. LeGarrette Blount, 17 carries, 31 yards, 1.8 yards per rush, 1 touchdown. The team altogether 39 carries, 136 yards, 3.5 yards per rush. Julian Edelman, 6 receptions, 75 yards. Martellus Bennett, 2 for 35. James White, 3 for 24. Altogether, only 7 guys caught passes, so that's decent. Don't get me wrong, but the Patriots, you usually expect a little more. Devin McCourty, Joe Thuney, Jonathan Jones all recovered fumbles. Tom Brady fumbled twice, recovered one of them, did not lose the other. And Deion Lewis fumbled and recovered a fumble. They had 4 sacks. 2 of them, Trey Flowers, Jabal Sheard, and Malcolm Brown both had one as well. Logan Ryan had an interception, returned at 46 yards. Steven Gostkowski 3 for 3 in his field goals for the Broncos. Trevor Siemian 25 of 40, 282 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Justin Forsett 10 carries, 37 yards, 3.7 yards per rush. Devontae Booker 6 for 17, 2.8. 17 of 58, 3.4 yards per rush altogether. Demaryius Thomas, 7 receptions, 91 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 3 for 48. Jeff Heuerman, 2 for 40. Jordan Norwood fumbled twice, lost both of them. That's a killer there. Jerry Crick had a sack. Shane Ray had the other sack. No interceptions. Brandon McManus 1 for 1 in his field goal. So Denver is now really fighting for a playoff spot. They very well could miss the playoffs. You just see they don't really have much explosiveness in their offense, and especially with those receivers of Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, you would expect a little more. But the quarterback play just hasn't been there. For the Patriots, they keep on ticking along. Even though Tom Brady wasn't great against this defense, the Patriots defense stepped up for them today to allow them to get the victory. He'd be happy to not have to see Denver in the playoffs. He generally struggles there, but they got the win nonetheless. Oakland clinches a playoff spot, moves to 11-3, and now is on top of the AFC West with a 19-16 victory over the San Diego Chargers. Derek Carr 19 of 30, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Latavius Murray starting to come on, 13 carries, 81 yards, 6.2 yards per rush. Jalen Richard 6 for 36. DeAndre Washington 5 for 23. That's 6.2, 6.0, and 4.6 yards per rush. 29 of 146 altogether, 5 yards per rush. Very good. Michael Crabtree, 6 receptions, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. Amari Cooper was not very effective today, 1 for 28. Seth Roberts, 2 for 27. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys caught passes, but 7 of those guys only caught 1 pass. Malcolm Smith recovered a fumble. Latavius Murray fumbled twice, lost 1 of them. They had 3 sacks. Danico Autry had 1. Bruce Irvin had the other. So Bruce Irvin, a nice pickup. Of course, with Khalil Mack, you have some nice pass rushing there. Sebastian Janikowski 4 for 4 in his field goals, and Reggie Nelson did add an interception to seal the game. The San Diego Chargers, Phillip Rivers 17 of 30, 206 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kenneth Farrell, 15 carries, 39 yards, 2.6. Ronnie Hillman, 7 of 34, 4.9 yards per rush. 22 of 73 altogether, which is 3.3 yards per rush. Dontrell Illman, top receiver, 5 for 68. Travis Benjamin, 2 for 56. Hunter Henry, 3 for 37. Benjamin and Henry both had touchdowns. Kyle Emmanuel recovered a fumble. Kenneth Farrell fumbled twice, lost 1 of them. Melvin Ingram had a sack, was 1 of 2. Joey Bosa had the other, so Bosa is playing very well. Travon Reed had an interception. And Josh Lambo 1 for 1 in his field goals. So Oakland, give them credit. They weren't very good today offensively. Having Latavius Murray get his groove back is certainly very important for this team. That's nice to see, especially with Derek Carr's injury. You're not sure how well he's going to be able to throw the ball, and it's been reflective in his numbers. The San Diego Chargers coming along nicely as a team that I didn't expect much of. You certainly see the improvements of Joey Bosa, and that's something to look forward to in the future. All right, so that's it for the earlier day game recaps. We'll be back later for the Cowboys Buccaneers, most likely. Be sure to stay tuned for that. We'll see you later. Thank you.